Hi everyone, today I am here to bring you a Pilates Reformer workout focused on the outer hips and the inner thighs. As far as equipment goes for this workout, you will just need your reformer and your box. As always during this workout, please feel free to modify as necessary. Also feel free to adjust the springs to the reformer that you are working on. When you are ready, let's gather our equipment and get started. All right guys, so I'm all set up. My foot bar is up, my headrest is down, and I am on 2 heavy springs. We're gonna come down to lie on our back to start. So come on down with me. Adjust yourself to the center of your carriage and let your arches of your feet just rest onto the foot bar. And once your feet and your knees sit bone distance apart, and just for a few moments, let's just inhale and exhale the breath. As you inhale, feel the back of the rib cage expand into the reformer below you. And as you exhale, just soften the front of the rib cage down towards the hips. Beautiful. Let's just do a few more breaths here. Really settling in. And last time through, inhaling and exhaling. Now on your next exhale, let's roll the pelvis up off of the mat, coming up into a bridge position. Reach those knees over the foot bar. Keep the carriage as steady in space as possible. Take a breath, inhale at the top, and then exhale, roll the spine back down. So again, inhale at the base of the movement. Exhale to roll the spine to the top. Inhale at the top of the movement. Exhale to roll the spine down. Always imagining that the knees are reaching forward over the foot bar, even as we roll the spine down. So there's still this forward reach to create length through the spine. Let's do 3 more just like that. Beautiful job. Let's do 2 more. Really finding each vertebra. And last time here, we're gonna roll it up and stay up at the top for a moment. Now I want you to just swivel your heels till they meet. So now you're in this Pilates V position, and we're gonna just pulse the hips up to the ceiling here. So the knees are about shoulder distance apart, the heels are squeezing together, and I want you to think about this, just activating those outer hips. Let's do 8 and 7. Last 4, last 2, and 1. Roll the spine all the way down. Bring your feet and your knees, your inner thighs completely together. Squeeze them in nice and tight and roll the pelvis up off of the mat one last time. From here, keep your hips nice and high as you tuck the tailbone under and then release the tailbone down. Tuck the tailbone under, exhale, inhale, release the tailbone. Every time you tuck that tailbone, see if you can squeeze those inner thighs a little tighter from the pubic bone through the knee. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Now tuck that tailbone under and very slowly roll the spine all the way down. Very nice job. From here, just pivot onto your side. Bring your headrest up just so you're a little more comfortable. Head goes on the headrest. My bottom hand is going to grab onto my peg and my top hand is going to rest on my shoulder block. You find a position that works for you. I'm stacking my hips and I'm going to take my top foot onto the foot bar. Once it's there, I'm just gonna straighten that top leg out and align my heel so it's directly underneath my sit bone. My hips are stacked, belly is braced, bottom obliques are lifting. From here, we just pull in and out, in and out. Now your heel might just naturally lift as you bend the knee, and that's okay. But as you press the carriage out again, really ground the heel deeply into the foot bar to activate the glutes and the hamstrings. I'm almost trying to feel like I'm dragging my foot back on the foot bar just slightly so that my hamstrings stay engaged throughout the movement. Nice job here, guys. Let's do 8 and 7. The last 4. Last 2. And last 1. Now come halfway in and press out an inch and in an inch. Every time you press out, see if you can get that heel to drive down into the foot bar. Good for 8 and 7. Nice, last 4, nice and smooth through your transition in and out. Last 2 and last 1. Straighten that leg all the way out for a moment. Let's come all the way back in and move your 5 toes underneath your sit bone. So I had to move my toes back just a little bit. Now we're gonna come in and out again, this time with the heel raised. Pressing out, pulling in. Again, trying not to overwork through the quadricep, through the front of the leg, but trying to deeply activate the back of the hip and the hamstring. Let's do 4 more here. Last 2 and last 1. Again, come halfway in and press out and in just a few inches. Nice, 4 more. Last 2 and last 1. Straighten that leg all the way out, come all the way in, and just take your top foot and rest it, or your top leg and rest it over the foot bar. Bottom leg is gonna go under the foot bar. I'm still really trying to activate my lower obliques, and I'm also trying to keep my hips stacked. From here, I'm just gonna lift and lower my bottom leg up to my top leg. Exhaling as you lift, keeping the ankles nice and strong and straight. Good, let's do 8 and 7. Last 4, last 2, and last 1. Now take that bottom leg forward till you're at the front edge of your foot bar and lift and lower that leg again. Exhaling on the lift. Thighs are parallel to one another. And 5, 4, last 2, and last 1. Hold the leg up for a moment. We're gonna draw a U shape down to our back position and then down to our front position. So going down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. For 8, 7, last 4, last 2, and last 1. Hold that bottom leg up and just slide it underneath the foot bar, forward and back as high as you can keep it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, bend that bottom knee in, keep your hips stacked, and lift and lower the top leg. So I'm thinking about how far I can reach my leg across the room here. We will not be here that long. Nice job, let's do 8. Good, last 4. Last 2 and 1. Flex the foot, flex, kick the leg forward, point and reach the leg behind. It's nice that you can kind of feel that foot bar underneath the leg, and that's going to try to keep your leg the same distance from the floor throughout your kick, which is what we're looking for. Nice, 4 more. Last 2, and last time. Bring your leg directly side and circle the leg forward for 8, 7, 6. Almost ovular circle, so lots of lift on the top part of your circle. 4, 3, 2, and reverse it for 8, Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Bend that knee. We're going to turn all the way over onto the other side. Before we do that, though, let's just lay on our back for a moment. Take the soles of our feet together on top of the foot bar and just let your hips rock a little right and left. Releasing the inner thighs, relaxing the outer hips. And then we're just going to turn right over onto our other side. So get as comfortable as you can in this side lying position. Top foot comes onto the foot bar. Once you're set up, straighten that top leg. Make sure your heel feels like it's directly underneath that top sit bone, and then bend and straighten. Inhale and exhale. Again, your heel can just naturally lift, but then really push it firmly down into the foot bar to activate that glute and that hamstring. Let's do 8. And 4. Last time, come halfway in, little bend and push, bend and push. Every time I push the carriage out, I'm just pushing my heel down into that bar. Last 4. And last 1, straighten the leg all the way out. Come all the way back in. Move to your toes, toes right underneath that top sit bone, and just extend and bend the leg. Good. For 8, 6, last 4, last 2, and last 1. Very nice job. Come all the way in or halfway in and come out and in just a few inches. Let's do 5, 4, last 2, and last 1. Stretch that top leg all the way out, come all the way in. Reach your top leg over top of the foot bar, reach your bottom leg underneath the foot bar. Make sure your legs are stacked, and then lift and lower your bottom leg up to your top. Good. Last 8, 7. Think about how long you can make both legs here. For 4. Last 2 and 1. Now your bottom leg is going to move towards the front of the foot bar and just lift and lower again. For 8, 7, 4, and 1. Here comes that little U shape. We go down and up to the back, down and up to the front. Everything else stays nice and steady and still in space. For 8 and 7. Last 4. Last 2. And last 1, hold the leg up nice and high and slide it back and forth. Front to back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that bottom knee in, just give it a rest. Now your top leg is going to do the work, so we lift and lower the top leg, reaching the leg as long as you can over that bar. Keep your bottom waist lifting. If you can see my little fingers under here, I don't know if you're facing me, but it's almost like you can slide a piece of paper underneath your lower waistline. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flex your foot, kick forward, and point back. Kick, reach forward with the foot, point, reach back. Nice for 4. Last 2. And last 1. Hold that leg side. 8 circles front. Ovular circles, really lift up and over, up and over. Last 3. And reverse it for 8, 7. Last 4. Last 2 and 1. Good. All right, roll over onto your back again. Let's cross one ankle over the other thigh and just take a little hip stretch here. Nice. Okay, other side. Beautiful. All right, and now we're going to rock and roll ourselves up to seated, change our spring to 1 medium spring, and then get our box and put our box on the reformer. Good, so box goes on. We're gonna come into kind of a side lying position here. So I'm gonna come up onto the box. I'll face you to start. My bottom hand is gonna end up on my headrest. My headrest is still up. My bottom knee is bent. My top foot is going to go into my top strap. Align yourself so your shoulder is directly over your wrist. Now we're gonna take this top leg out in line with the front edge of the reformer. Top hand to the hip or to the box, whatever feels comfortable. Really push that leg out so that the top waist is nice and long. And once you have all that situated, we're just gonna lift and lower our top leg. Good for 8 and 7, 4, last 2, hold the leg up at about hip height, bend the knee in, and kick the leg back out to the front edge of your reformer. Pushing through that heel, just as we did in our side lying footwork. So this is almost like, you know, a superset of the same exercises that we just completed in a different plane. Let's do 4 more here. Last 2. And last 1, hold that leg out, and here's our circles. We've got 8 front, 8 back, 7. Ooh. Last 4. And 1, reverse it. The carriage is staying almost completely still here. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Bend your knee. Take that same loop and slide it over your top thigh. Now both knees are bent. Make sure you still feel comfortable on that bottom wrist. And then we are going to lift our heels off of the box and lift our top knee up and down. So now we're in this little clamshell position. Your hips are still stacked, and I promise you we are not going to be here long. I'm feeling very fatigued in the top hip as well. Good. For 5 and 4. Last 2. Last 1, hold the top leg up. Little pulses back. This is our last exercise on this side for 8, 7, 6. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice job. Whew. Okay, so let's take that top strap off. Carefully remove it from your leg. And we're gonna sit up on top of the box, facing side. And I'm gonna take this strap now onto my inside foot. From here, I'm gonna scooch my tailbone a little further forward on the box. I'm almost centered on the box, and my hands are gonna come back behind me to support my spine. Then I'm gonna take this leg straight out to you and just bring it across my body. My other heel is resting on the side of the carriage here. for support. That's it. Not a super big range of motion. We're just activating that inner thigh. Keep your belly braced. You've got 8 and 7. For 4. Last 2. And last 1. Now hold your foot directly in front of your hip and bend your knee just a little bit and kick forward. And kick forward, keeping the carriage still in space. For 5 and 4. Last 2. Now we're going to combine the 2 for our last exercise here. So bring the carriage back home, pull your foot back center, bend your knee, and then kick it forward. Over, in, bend and press. Over, in, bend and press. For 4. And 3. Last 2. And last time. Very nice job. Bend that knee all the way in. Sit all the way up. And let's take that strap off. Beautiful job, guys. So, if you'd like, you can sit slightly towards the back edge of your box. Make sure you feel secure here and just bring your feet into a butterfly position to just relax those inner thighs. And then we're going to turn over onto our other hip and do the same series again. So when you're ready, come on up, turn over. You can always get off of the box and back on, or you can swivel around carefully. Again, your bottom hand is going to end up on your headrest. Your bottom knee is bent and just resting on the carriage. Your top leg is going in your top loop. Stretching that leg out to the front edge of the carriage. Make any adjustments you need to so that you feel nice and stable. From here, we're just going to lift that top leg up and down, up and down. Again, you're thinking about how long your top waist can be. You're externally rotating that bottom shoulder. So the rest of the body is still working here, even though we're focused on that outer hip. For 5, 4, last 2, and last 1. Now bend and kick. You're kicking towards the front edge. Really activating that glute and that hamstring again. For 5. Exhale on that press away. Last 2, and last 1. Hold that leg long and circle for 8, 7. Carriage again is staying fairly still here for 4. And reverse it for 8, 7. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bend that top knee in. Take your strap now around your top thigh. Bring your knees together for a moment. Lift both heels. And then when you're ready, we're going to open and close that top knee. Hips are still stacked. Be careful that the top hip doesn't rock back. In fact, sometimes I like to put my hand just right behind my sacrum, and that kind of reminds me not to let my top hip drop back in space. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. Last 2. On 1, hold that top knee back and pulse it for 10, 9, 8. Good. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice job. Let's take that top strap off the foot. Coming up to seated at the center of your box. From here, that strap is going to go around your inside foot. You're gonna scoot your tailbone forward just a little bit so your upper body is rounded back and you're pressing into the box with your hands, and then extend that foot that's closest to the shoulder blocks out in front of you. From here, we're just reaching it out to the side and then using the inner thigh to pull it back in to the center. Beautiful, exhale. Let's do 5. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now hold that leg directly in front of the hip and bend the knee slightly and kick the heel out. Again, the carriage is staying steady. For 5, last 3, let's combine the 2. Straighten that leg, bring the leg out and in, and then bend and press. Out, in, bend, and press. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. Last 2 sets. And last time. Very nice job. Sit all the way up. Take that strap off of your foot and just place it back on your peg. Take a moment here to sit in butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Hinge the upper body forward and just take that stretch. Good. When you're ready, standing all the way up. Now we're gonna take our box and turn it sideways at the center of the carriage. And for me, I'm gonna go back to 1 heavy spring. When you're ready, once you've got your box set up, we're gonna come all the way down onto our belly on the box with our hands on our foot bar. I've decided that for me today, I'm gonna be in a little bit of external rotation with my legs reaching towards the outside edges of the reformer. Chest stays low for now. Let's just press the carriage out and pull the carriage in. Press and pull. Again, lots of engagement in the glutes and outer hips here. Beautiful, let's do 4 more. The last 2, and last 1. Now straighten the arms and hold the arms straight and lift the body up in space and down. Up and down. Option to keep the legs long, or as you lift the torso, also bend the knees and then stretch the legs long again. Let's do 3, and 2. Last 1. Lower the torso, reach the legs long, and start to flutter kick those feet as you bend the elbows in and press the legs back out, or the arms back out. Bend the arms in and press back out. In this nice oiled up position, working from the glutes and the tops of the hamstrings, keeping the pelvis nice and stable. Let's do 4. Last 2. And last time. Come all the way in. Very carefully come off to the side and come all the way to standing. Let's remove that box, just place it off to the side. We're gonna take our foot bar down now. And I'm gonna move to one light spring. So I have a yellow spring option, which is what I'm gonna take. You could also do this on a medium spring as well. And we are gonna stand all the way up on the carriage. So one foot on your standing platform, the other leg on your carriage. And now we're concentrating on those inner thighs one last time. So only take this movement as far as you feel comfortable. We are gonna just press the carriage out a bit, and then pull the carriage in, and think about how tall you can make your spine as you pull the carriage in. Exhale. If you feel unstable here, really it's okay to add a heavier spring to stabilize that carriage a little more. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Hold the carriage all the way in. Sit your hips back into a little squat. Shift the weight of your body into your platform leg, and then press the inside leg to straight. From here, you're just gonna sit back in the hips a little bit and then pull the carriage in again. Your carriage leg is still nice and extended. So we're just pushing those hips back in space a bit, and then pulling the carriage in. For 5. Last 2, and last 1. Now one more exercise here. All we're gonna do is rotate our torso towards the platform and press out and in again. For 5. Last 3, and 2, and 1. Carefully bring the carriage in, come to stand, step your carriage foot back onto the floor behind you, step all the way off, and then come around the other side to repeat. So platform steps up first, platform foot, the other foot steps on the carriage. Make sure you feel nice and centered and grounded here before you press that carriage out and pull it in. Only going so far as feels comfortable to you. Think about pressing the inner out and outer feet down throughout this exercise. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Bring the carriage all the way in. Bend both knees, shift your weight into your platform side, straighten your carriage leg. And now we sit down and back and pull up and in here. Chest is facing straight forward for now. And 4, 3. Last 1, add rotation and press out and in again. For 5, and 4, last 2, and last 1. Come all the way up and in. Take a careful step back with your carriage foot, step down with your platform foot as well, and then to finish, we're just gonna stretch out those inner thighs a bit. So I want you to take one foot on either side of the reformer. You can put a heavier spring on here if you'd like. I'm gonna put a red spring or a heavy spring on, and then I'm gonna put my foot bar up. Good. Scoot your hips a little closer to the foot bar. Take your hands shoulder distance onto the foot bar, and then we're just gonna press that carriage out, leaning the torso down towards the well, feeling a nice stretch through those inner thighs and hips. You're welcome to let your head go through your upper arms if it feels good to you. Now round the spine halfway up and go out again. Continuing on, either staying still or adding this little movement. Let's do 3 here. And one more time. Press the carriage out, leaning the torso forward, maybe working your hands further down on the sides of the foot bar. And just stretch and relax here. When you're ready, start to bend those elbows. Roll the spine up. Find a nice, comfortable seated position. And thank you so much for being here with me today. Hope you enjoyed that inner thigh and outer hip workout. Please leave me a comment or question down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.